Good morning, everyone. Watch Woman Warrior here, aka Michelle with an A. Now, I'm coming on here today to do a short video. As you know, what they call Halloween is coming around the corner. And I'm coming in here to warn everyone, anyone who believes in God, anyone who follows Christ, do not celebrate it. Do not put up decorations. Do not go trick-or-treating. Do not wear costumes. Do not partake in any of it whatsoever. At all, period. Even the carving of pumpkins and stuff. It is satanic at its core. It was all started by a Celtic satanic occult way back in the day. It was started by a Nimrod that's in the Bible. That on that day, because the realms are so close to the spirit realm, actually, I'm wondering if the spirit realm wasn't even close at all until they started sacrificing people on that day, calling demons. And they would go to people's houses and say trick or treat. And if they did not give somebody from their family as a sacrifice into Satan, in the man made of wicker that they would burn, that they do even to this day, but nobody really knows about the true story behind it. They try to claim that it's just having fun when it's really not. But if they did not give them somebody from their family to put in the fire alive and sacrifice them into Satan, then once they actually did their ritual and stuff, the demons that would come out of the ritual that they did would go forth into the people who, of course, were without God. And one of them of that household that refused would be dead. Because the demons would do whatever they could to cause their ultimate demise. Now, this year is definitely worse than any other due to the fact of the son of perdition. The runner-up for the Antichrist is in power right now and breeding all of this satanic witchcraft. And this year, people are already becoming demonically possessed, those who have received the mark of the beast, which is the V-scene and jabulations that have been going on for generations. They have now been able to effectively change the genome unto the Antichrist, and the final mark will be the chip that's coming, and you won't be able to receive the mark of the chip without having your V-scene, like the dream I had. You have to buy gas, and you have to use your bonus card in order to buy food, and that represents the mark of the beast in the Bible. And in my dream, it was twofold. You had to buy the gas, which is worldly technology, and you had to use your bonus card, which will become the chip and the V-scene, that, the chip that proves that you've had your up-to-date V-scenes and jabulations. So that's what that dream represented, which I just did a video on that. But this year, many people will become possessed with demons due to the fact of their worshiping Satan on Halloween. I hate to say it, but I even have a very bad feeling that there's going to be a lot of bad things happen this year because of those who are being encouraged to do so by those in power, because they're trying to get their results in the way they see fit through using the algorithms they call AI, which is Antichrist intelligence. And they put it through this system that tells them, oh, well, if you do this to them, then this could be your result. So they do it, and they don't care how bad it is. They just care about the power that they receive, which will only last 1 hour after the Antichrist gains control of the world. They will have power with him. I must say it, because it's going to be coming as both male and female, and it's an it. Because in the Hebrew Bible, when it talks about the serpent and Eve, it mentions that he beguiled her unto seduction. He seduced her. And she did bear Cain, which was the first Antichrist being upon the earth in the flesh. So, I'm pretty sure that the fall that's spoken of in the book of Enoch was when Lucifer, Hellel, decided to have intercourse with Eve, which is why she bore Cain, and then went to Adam with Eve as both male and female. That's how you get the transgender movement. And seduced Adam as well. And that's how they ended up with Cain and Abel. Abel was of God through Adam, and Cain was from Hellel through Lucifer with Eve. And And that's why that all happened. And that's why also after the flood of Noah, his son Ham was the one that was cursed by Noah, because he went and looked upon his father's nakedness, because his father was naked and drunk in the cave. Probably, before God, because he was having a hard time with everything. You go through the flood and stuff, and now you got to start creation all over again. It can be taxing at times, I'm pretty sure. Either that, or he had just got the first ripe, wine, and was able to drink wine for the first time in a long time, and was enjoying himself, and he got so hot from drinking, and it was probably hot out, that he's like, well, I can't be naked in front of my children, and I'm really, really hot, and I'm drunk, so I'm going to go up to this cave here, and I'm going to bear myself, and I'm going to hang out in this cave until I sober up a little bit. Only God knows the true intent behind all that. But anyways, Ham, which is interesting that we call pig meat, which God says is nasty, like you shouldn't eat it. Even after he cleansed the world, it's still certain things you shouldn't eat, because they're bottom feeders. They eat garbage. There's not a reason to eat something that eats rotten carcasses and stuff, But anyways, we call pig meat ham. And Ham was Noah's son that was cursed, like the same curse as Cain, because of him deliberately disobeying and not only looking upon his father's nakedness. Maybe Ham was gay. You never know. And that's why he went to look upon his father's nakedness, because his curiosity. And then he tried to get his brothers to do the same thing to cause them to fall into the same sin. And they're like, no, we can't do that. And they told their father, praise be to God, and didn't go along with him, and then he was cursed because of what he did. I don't know exactly, but the story is pretty specific on certain things and kind of lacking in others, but that's because they only gave us 66 books out of over 80 books that we were supposed to get, and that doesn't even include all the scriptures. But my main point in all this is I'm a watchman. I'm meant to warn the people. And I'm pretty sure I've mentioned it before, that Halloween is evil at its core. Of course, I didn't know the entire history of it. I didn't really search it up. All I know is I know it's evil because I was pagan. I was of the occult. I know what it's for. I know what they're celebrating. They're celebrating the bringing in of the dead. They're literally doing what they can to, in a way, resurrect ghosts and demons upon the earth, who they believe are their loved ones, and that's how they give it its power, is because their attraction, their love for their past loved ones is how they're bringing them forth. Thinking they're their loved ones, but they're not. They're just the darkness that was attached to them. And I'm concerned myself because I have a neighbor that's literally 2 doors down from me in my apartment building that have lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people in her family since COVID began. Matter of fact, the first 2 was right before COVID. And the other ones were after it, and they were all due to drugs. All of them, as far as I'm aware. Which is not good at all. At all. And, she's a friend of mine, and I love her dearly, like a sister. But she doesn't really believe or follow God, which is the problem. Because she has contact from these demons and ghosts that were attached to her family, but she doesn't see it that way. She sees it as her family, and that's the problem. And I've told her that these aren't your family. I hate to say it, but they're not. It's like you can't give power and authority over these things, because they're not your family. And to do so, you're putting yourself under the bondage of darkness. Because you want to believe it's them, because there is a spiritual realm, and we are eternal beings on the inside. But these things that are connecting with you are not your family. It's like, and if you do have something, a feeling come over you of peace and comfort, and you believe or feel that it could be your family member, and it actually benefits you with that contact, there's a good chance that was the Lord coming to you. And you wanted to believe it was them, and to him, it's like, I will do anything to be close to you to help you get out of the hole of hell you're in. You want to think I'm your sister? That's fine. Just listen to what I say. Because if you listen to what I'm saying, you will draw closer to me and further away from that. Because it's not your friend. Doesn't matter what it says, doesn't matter what it knows, it's not your friend. It's your enemy, and it will destroy you if you let it. Just like it did them. And there's so many people out there, even people that believe in God, that actually pray and talk to their past loved ones as if they're praying to God, and it's not good at all. It's not bringing you closer to them, and it's not helping you draw near to God. It's calling darkness. Even though you mean well, it doesn't do well, because God says there's only one to call upon in prayer, and that's Christ the Lord. There's only one, there's Christ the Lord and God Almighty, because they are both one. He is God's Son. God created him just so God could come down in the flesh and prove himself unto mankind and redeem us back. But Christ is God's Son. When we go to heaven, Christ will be there at the right hand of God, and God will be on the throne. They are two in one. Like my child is one of me. Like my daughter's like my spit and image, only she has her dad in her too. The Lord is the spitting image of God that could be put into human form, because God himself cannot dwell in flesh or anything. Like, even space itself can't contain God. God contains space and time. It's hard to explain. I mean, the more you read the Bible and the more you pray to the Lord and everything, the more you want to know, the more he will reveal to you. Like he said, I will send you the Comforter in the Spirit of truth, and they will reveal to you all things. And those things that I've mentioned to you, they will bring into remembrance to you, so you understand. And then once you understand that, it will expound unto you all things that you will ever need to know. Everything. Things that, like Einstein was way before his time. That's what he means. He gave certain people the knowledge of things that were way before their time. And prophesied things way before the time. To let them, give them heeds of warning, or to give them the ability to transform humanity into something so much greater than what it is today. To use it for good, not evil. If they would have listened to Tesla and them back then, I don't think that Tesla created a thing for war. But I believe that the reason why they did what they did to him and caused his death was because they wanted it for war, and he refused. He wanted it to better mankind, the way I feel. And then they did whatever they could to put him down, and until after he died, and then waited a few years when all those people that remember his invention died off, and then they bring it back out as if it was some new revelation and some God-inspired, God-given thing, which it was, but not to them. They murdered those who was given the true knowledge. Those who were going to do right with it. And he tried. But they wouldn't let him, because he did not want to use it for anything but to better mankind. And when they realized that he was refusing to give them it so they could use it for war, they start talking about how supposedly it's so dangerous. The propaganda they do today. If you're not for them, they will do everything they can to make you look like the bad guy. And get everybody else to follow. And that's exactly what's going on with these holidays. I don't even like calling them holidays, because there's nothing holy about them at all. They're so unholy and evil and satanic and abomination. Do not celebrate anything that is outside of God's natural order. To do so is your demise. And I needed to come on and warn everyone of this, because it's only going to get harder from here on out. We're going to have to, it won't be long, we'll have to forsake all the things of the world, or they're going to hunt us down and kill us, because we refuse to believe the lies. And we uphold and will stand and die for the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help us God. I hope you guys have a blessed day. God bless you. And I pray that God puts a hedge of protection around you and your family, and that this reaches you. And if this doesn't reach you, that the Lord does somehow in some way to keep you from the hour of temptation that is coming upon all of creation. Those who are of Satan will be possessed with demons and will no longer have control, even though they think they do. And those who are of God will be renewed. Redemption will come. And they will be renewed and like He is. And we will survive the great tribulation, because He will not only be alive in us, He will be with us with His army, protecting us and fighting for us until the wickedness perishes forever. Love you guys. God bless and Godspeed.